The moment of truth. Can we get this Panasonic NV-V8000 finally up and running? Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another MrBetaByte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as I'm hoping we can get this NV-V8000 up and running. Featured in a couple of videos and came to the conclusion in the end that basically it was a bit of a Frankenstein machine insofar as basically lots of faulty parts had been put inside it and then it had been sold as a complete machine. So it is a complete machine, it's just completely full of broken parts. So after that last video, David reached out to me. Hi David, hope all is well with you and your machines are still all good and working well, to say that he was actually scrapping one of these and would like any parts. And I said yes please, gave him a list of parts, and we have a box. Now it's been quite a while since I've had this box. I've just had so much going on that I've just not had a chance to do this, and this is probably going to be quite a big job as well. It's going to take me a while to get this all sorted. So yeah, it's pretty, I mean, I've opened the box, but I've not actually looked to see what we have. So, looks like we have, I think that's the bottom board. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Then, great, we've got the ribbons. Because remember we had one broken ribbon at the end. The mechanism, which looks complete. We've got the head drum there, which I'll be interested to see. There was a bit of a dent, like a sort of little ripple on the drum, which I thought was damaged, but people are telling me it's not actually. It is how it is with those machines. So I'm really intrigued to confirm that. And indeed have a close look, because we've obviously got that out. So yeah, that's the complete, is it? No, it's just, yeah, it's a complete front loading system. So that's really, really useful as well. We did actually get it going, the front loading system, but it was a bit clunky. So yeah, let's have a look. Unwrapping the deck. Yeah, so you can actually see there is a little dimple on the drum. Interesting. So this is all looking pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, that's got bent, but that's nothing. I don't know if it's in time. I assume probably it is. And it is really tempting just to swap the deck, rather than fiddle about with all the rest of it. I mean, it's all looking pretty good. Because I also have a feeling that capstan motor is bad. That is a bit of a pain to get to. And I even had to take off those pads. Yeah, because I think the magnets had swelled on it. And yeah, I just wonder if I just change it wholesale, you know. We've got the ribbon cables as well. I'm tempted to go with all the electronics as is, although, so here's the baseboard with sporting its glue. I can see there's a little bit of damage to one of the transistors there. Everything else seems to be okay. I say damage, it's just that one, so I don't know if you can make that out. It's just broken at solder joints. It's not not damaged the print, I don't think, but that's fine. Certainly work with that. There's no cracks or anything, which is the critical thing. But double-sided board as well, of course. That one's okay, it is just that one. So, again, do I change this board with the other board? So, I'm tempted to just swap the whole deck out. Seems alright. Don't know whether I've got anything on the capstan. I think there is in this state it's got a brake on it anyway. Can't remember, but yeah, let's take the covers off this and see what we're up against. Let's crack on. So front's off, well, all the cabinets off, and next job is to get this front loading system out. So unplug this. It's so long since I've worked on this, I've forgotten how it all comes apart as well. So I was going to record actually taking the covers off, and I got so involved with trying to remember how it all comes apart, I forgot. But it is on, I think I covered it on a previous video. So yeah, it's a bit of a task. Getting into these and working on them. They're bulky old machines as well, but amazing machines, that's for sure. So I can't remember if there are screws in the front and I have to wind it on or something to get to them. I thought it unclipped. There are screws right at the front, which I think I get at down there somewhere, maybe. Yeah, there we go. There's one. You can just see a red dot. Can't see the other one though. Yeah, I'll get those undone and then we'll put it out. Must have had my Weetabix when I put the screw in, because it was really tough to get undone. This one was fine. So I think this should just lift off now. There is underneath. I'm just going to make sure I get these actually before I do put it out. Yeah, there's a couple of connectors. So one's needs to be released before you pull it out. And then I think it's just this one. I think that's it. And I'm just going to feed those through a bit. So I should be able to take this out now. Wholesale. I seem to remember it gets trapped as well. Let's just put this down. It's fouled on the board slightly. What am I missing? Oops, it just went clunk. Oh, that was alright actually. It's just caught out the spring mechanism. Yeah, it is tight. There we go. Whew. So there's the deck in all its glory. So what I need to do now is start unplugging stuff. So I can whip this out this deck actually loose? No. It just threw me because there's these two rails on each side and they don't have any screws in, but it's actually fixed here. So really long self-tapping screws. No doubt there'll be one at the back. Probably just the one, which is that one there, which you probably can't quite see. It's a shorter one. I should be able to just pull this deck forward a little bit. I think we're unplugged underneath. Grounding at the back here. The amp's got to come off anyway because the other one doesn't have the amp module. We've got another connector there, and the cam should just pull off. Like so. And then another connector there to come undone. And that should, I think, be everything. Let's have a look under the deck. Nah, a couple more. That one. And where does that go? So there's a little optocoupler there. I'll turn the deck over and get to the connector for that. So I just put a screw back in just to hold the deck so it doesn't fly out. It just connects there. There we go. So I'll just put that board back in so it doesn't get damaged. And put that down. Take out that one screw. Take out the deck. Magic. And I'm assuming this is all timed okay, but time will tell, no doubt. So I want to be careful of those two ribbons at the front. Oh, actually, I want to sort these. I'm not worried about that, actually. Oh, yes, I am, because I can see they're quite bent. So I'm going to take this bracket off and swap it with the one on the other deck, because this is actually quite bent. It's bent there as well, and I just think, well, if I've got a good bracket, just replace it. One less thing to cause me problems. And there is actually a small spring that it needs as well, by the looks. Although this is actually a little bit different. Oh no, it's not. It's actually on the bit of metal. I shall show you once I get the other screw out. Yeah, so it looked like on here there was an extra bit in the casting, but it's not. It's actually all done here, and that spring sort of locates there. So all little things that probably seem really small that can make the difference between the deck running properly and not. I don't know what the spring does, I have to say. Probably something to do with the front loading system. But yeah, I'm concerned if this is in time. So yeah, so let's unplug this because this is obviously of no use at all. Let's cut wire on it as well. Just thread that. Everything else looks fine. We have actually got some bent pins. Well, I mentioned that before or not. So just very carefully bend these back, rather not be trying to replace the whole socket if I can help it. Super. It's not bad. We'll see how we get on. I'm hoping the can will actually just straighten those so we don't get any problems. Yeah, so we should be able to get the deck back in. Let's crack on. Comparing these, I've just noticed we are missing this assembly on here, so I'm going to take this off now. It is on a spring. I'm not sure where that spring goes. It looks like the spring's still there on this. That looks to go on there. Somehow. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe this bit goes around the plastic. That must be it. So, that goes like so. Yeah, it almost clips on. And that goes around like so. And that should, with a little bit of persuasion, go in, which it has. And that goes down and on there. And then we've got the other assembly. The spring goes there, and this goes on here, and need something just to hold that back. And I guess I push this back as far as it will go and clip it on. Oh, I've got another. This bracket's bent. Oh, that's annoying. I see, why isn't that going down? It's because the bracket's bent. Oh, I don't want that resting against the heads either. Just missed. That was close. So busy looking at this bit that I missed that bit. Okay, well that's, in some ways, it's made life a little bit simpler because oh, gosh. Well, that was certainly tight. I had to really put a lot of weight and yeah, pressure to get that off. But it's off. So that's all that matters. Let's take that off and put this one on. And I'll use the better screw because I've slightly damaged the head of the other one. I mean, it'd still be alright, but it's sort of, this is located where it's supposed to as well. So yeah, this looked a bit different. Couldn't quite place it to start off with, but yeah, we worked it out. So this now should go in. Actually, I wonder if that does go that side for mounting. And then there's a place there where you can push it out. Is that much easier to do wide? That's fine. Yeah, that's it. Super. Right. Everything else looks good. Everything else looks like it should. Of course, we've got a good pinch roller as well, which is great because we did have issues with this one continually falling off. Oh, it seems much more solid as well. Yeah, there looks to be a missing bit of something there. Yes, there is. There's a whole assembly missing off this. So no wonder that wasn't working. What else am I noticing? I think everything else is looking good. I mean, this deck is so much cleaner as well. Heads wise, just a very quick look. They all look good, whereas this one, I think one head chip is totally wrecked. Is that one? No. That one. One of them. So, yeah, but otherwise, I think we are good to go. So, I'll move this one out of the way, get this one put in. Ribbons look okay. No damage. So yeah, let's crack on. Okay, it's not the easiest thing to film, but that's because I need as much room and space as I can. Let's do our best with what we have. This needs to come up, plug in here. Make sure that goes under deck and doesn't get trapped. Let's do these. And as the deck goes back, we should be alright anyway, but let's make sure these are okay. We plug that one in actually. That one. one ribbon didn't quite go where I wanted it. It's always one. It's always got to be one. And I'm tempted to put these screws in next. Ah, yes. So I was just thinking, I'm sure there was another connector, and there was. I might as well put these on now. So yeah, let's put that back in with its grounding strap. Full arrays head, video heads, ace head. That's on, that's on, that's on. Screws are in. I think we can now comfortably just make sure they're tight. Yeah, good. Let's turn the deck over and just plug in those other leads. Okay, so that lead there goes in, whoop, not that way, that way, and goes through this bit of cable management, if I can get it in there. It does really all feel quite flimsy, I have to say, but that's fine. That's that. Try and get these things in straight. There we go. Right, super. So now for the fun bit, which is caps down ribbon cable. Very well wrapped. Yes, this is perfect. They are, yeah. That's it. Now that's interesting. Is one side different to the other? I wouldn't have thought, oh, maybe it is, because it's a different socket. Yeah, and that's gone in there. I just wonder if the thickness of the plastic material is actually different on either side. Could be, maybe, I don't know. Answers on a postcard, please. Right, so I think that's everything in on this board. Everything is connected. Everything's looking good. So I should be able to close this now. And yeah, we will I suppose put the front on, give it a, well, we've got to put the, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Got to put the front loading system back on. I'm going to put the original one back in, because I know that does sort of work anyway. So yeah, I'll get and do that next. Front loading system's back in. I didn't film it because my battery's going flat, so I had to quickly get some in there, but I also need to get this machine done. Only real problem I had was the one standard connector, not the ribbon connector, but the standard sort of 4-pin connector. That got a bit fouled in its journey to being fixed. Now this is a little bit tricky. Oh, that side's fine. Oh, that side's fine. I've unclipped the bottom bit. Got clips to do that. Just so I can get the ribbons back on. I think that's all I need to do from memory. So I've got just these two big screws here to put in. Just keep things a little bit more together. On this side, there appears to be two that you need to take out, but you only need to take out the top one. The bottom one's just holding on the metal to the metal assembly. So that's cool. Turn this on its side. We should be able to plug these in. So this one. Like so, and this one. Don't actually remember removing that one, which is a bit worrying, because how did it come out? Did I rip it out by mistake? There we go. That was just being a little bit stubborn going back in. That's it, that's in now. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so I think we're at a position where we can give this a try. Not nervous at all. Yeah, so I'll get that all set up. I need to find a power lead, actually. It's figure 8 on these, I seem to remember. Yes. So I need to find one of those as well. So get that sorted and we'll give it a test. Let's crack on. So let's give it a test. I will say I'm not overly happy that everything is timed correctly. So I'm going to be poised to put out the power if we do get some grinding, but we've got another deck. On the other hand, I don't see any real reason why this shouldn't work. As far as I'm aware, the deck that was sent to me is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. The machine it came from, I think, had a power supply fault. So yeah, everything that's been sent to me, I have to assume is good. We know the front loading system is now good, if not a little bit clunky, but yeah, that's cool. So let's pull down the cover so we can see what's going on, and we'll plug it in, fingers crossed. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Now, the slight thing that concerns me is, yeah, the front loading system is in the wrong place. Can I, well, let's, okay, so can I now put a cassette in? No. It's like everything's dropped. I'm almost tempted to put the other front loading system on, to be fair, albeit a bit of a pain to do. Just because I think this does still have some issues with it. Yeah, you see, it's just not, it's not driving, is it? Have I missed something? The connector's on. Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Oh, didn't we have this before where something jams? And oh, I know what it is. It's the, I think it's the front cover. There we go. So, oh, well, that's done nothing. It's made it worse. No. Oh, okay. Let's just run this motor a little bit again. Let's get it somewhere, just anywhere. Right, okay. So, well, what's going on here? Because I know it was working, because we got it working in the last video, but we had so many bits of broken plastic and just bits floating about. I mean, do I just cut my losses and put the other one on? Because that is apparently perfect. It's in the parked position. I should just be able to drop this down without taking off the ribbons. So I think that might be the way to go. So there's 2 screws out the top. I don't know whether I have to take those ribbons out or not, to be honest. I have a feeling I might have to, just because of putting this forward. No, I can do it. Take off the connector and then take out these screws again. Let's do, I can't see a blinking thing. Okay, here goes. Again, we've got the problem with it being a little bit on the tight side. Oh, I forgot the connectors. Oops. Gosh. Let's get those undone. There we go. I was thinking, oh, what am I putting against? Oh, connectors. So, okay. So, I'm just wondering, did I miss anything here? I just think this should all line up when the front loading system goes on. So, okay, I'll get the other one and get that put in and see what happens, I suppose. Well, it's a couple of days on again, and I didn't actually film any of this, but I had problems with the other front loading system. There's still something not quite right, whether there's a tooth missing somewhere or something I'm missing. It still seemed to be in time, but just not, it wasn't lifting the standard VHS carriage high enough. So I thought, right, okay, well, we've got another one, so let's try that. And I thought it was a bit weird because this peg here was all the way up here, and this was down here. And what appears to have happened is when it was taken out of the machine, it's quite difficult to see where the screw is. I think what happened is inadvertently the wrong screw had been taken out, and it's the screw that goes somewhere up here, and it had caused the whole carriage just to drop. Probably in transit, it just fell out, and the whole thing dropped, or was just floating about. So I borrowed a screw from the other one, put that in because that was missing, nowhere to be seen, and then put the carriage back in onto its pegs, and everything seems fine, and I can get a cassette in, no problem at all. So that's a good start. I couldn't do that on the other. The top was jammed somehow. I don't know quite what was happening with it at all. But I think I'd much rather go with this because, like I say, that other machine is just a kit of broken parts, and I need this to be as reliable as it can be. So I'm going to get this put back in, and yeah, see how we get on. This is a bit tricky because, like I say, you've got the ribbon and this other connector to get in through the deck, the hole in the deck. So we'll see if we can do this with a little bit more finesse this time. And I've got the tight fit of getting it past the boards, but it should go. Get the angle right. Now, I do wonder if this is part of the problem, because I have to rock it back and forth to get it in, whether that causes it to not sit quite correctly. Because there is a lever on the deck itself that comes up and locates into the front loading system. I think the deck is in VHS-C and the front loading system isn't. I think that's where it's gone all horribly wrong. So hair there needs to come out. Right, yeah, I think that's what it is. So I've got two choices. I can get the deck so it's at VHS-C, the front loading system, or I can get the deck so it's in VHS-C, and I am tempted to go for the deck. So what needs to happen, because this is what I need to adjust. So these need to go forward slightly, so they can locate. All right. So this is what happens when you press the VHS-C. I mean, I wonder if that was partly what I was struggling with on the other front loading system, but it just seemed to be all completely wrong. and now I have the luxury of a new front loading system. It just makes sense to use it. Right, so that should, I know it's not in the right position exactly, but I just needed to clear this so I can get that back on. So let's have another go. It's not the easiest thing to sort of see, but it's a cable, straight cable. I just wonder what else is wrong with this machine as well. I'm sort of nervous about what boards might be swapped. But anyway. Right, so that was me just flicking that assembly back in to where it should be located. I think that's right. I think that's gone in. Yeah, that's gone in. So what I think I'll do is do up the screws now. Hopefully they're not falling out. I don't think they have. So I'll do up these 4 screws, and then I'll just double check that I can get to the ribbon, because that was a bit troublesome. So yeah, I'll do that off camera because there's nothing really to see other than me struggling. Let's crack on. Well, it's back in. I had to use an Allen key just to sort of, the ribbon was the other side of the hole, so I was using an Allen key to gently pull it through, and it threaded through nice and easily, so that's great. So yeah, I suppose we ought to give it a test. Okay, so here it goes. All good, all screws in tight. Let's give it a go. Good start. That's a good start. Right, good. Let's try a cassette. Oh. What's happened there? I managed to free the tape off, although I don't really care about the cassette too much, to be fair. It's the deck. So yeah, and it looks like the lacing is slightly out of sync with the actual loading. So the loading cycle works, but the lacing is, I think, a little bit behind, maybe a tooth or two out. So I'll need to work that out, get it into the parked position. I should be able to do this quite easily, I think, without stripping it down too much, although it's all underneath the deck again. But I do need to get this cassette out, so you see, it's just, this is going back too soon. So I almost need to hold that back. I've got to lace it all over again. Takes forever. I've got the cassette out. I do actually wonder if it's to do with that intermediate arm and it not quite engaging properly. I need to check the timing yeah, just work out what's going on there, but we are making progress, so that's really good. Yeah, bit of a battle, isn't it? Let's crack on. Well, that's locked correctly now into sort of like alignment mode, if you like. So if you said timing it up, this is how it would look. And managed to get an Allen key in to lock it all in place. That pinch roller should not be down, so the timing's out here, that's for sure. And the other thing is this arm, I shouldn't be able to do that. It pushes, the edge of it pushes against the cam underneath, and although it is doing that, it's not doing it effectively. So I don't know whether the gear underneath has dropped a little bit or there's something missing off the bottom of this. Now we have got both the gear, and I can almost see like something, like something broken. I don't quite make it out. Just through the gap there in front of the guide, it's shining, and it looks like, it doesn't look like grease, it looks like something covered in grease, but it looks like a little rod. So I don't know, have to have a look, take the bottom off and have a look. Let's crack on. So I think we're somewhere near. It's actually quite a bit out of time. I was amazed it worked at all. The one thing that concerns me is that bit of plastic that was floating about, and where that's actually come from. And I haven't found it either. I don't know where it's gone. But anyway, I've stripped it down and retimed it. Like I say, it was quite a bit out of time. So let's go over to MrBetaByte to go through everything. So first of all, the gears here are all out of time. I've put an Allen key through the key gear that puts the deck in half load mode, and all the gears were well out of time. So this is how they're timed. So you've got this gear here, this gear here, and this gear here, and then there's this gear here, and then on the top we had problems with this brown part here being the wrong side of this arm. So I took that off and put it on the right way, but also this gear here was in completely the wrong place, so I've lined that up. Once this is off, once this brown assembly is off, you can take that gear off and put it in the right position basically, and then line up the pinch roller assembly and the mode switch. So that should be all good to go. But yeah, What a pain. And I didn't realise it was going to be that far out of time. Somebody's obviously been in here before. There's finger marks everywhere and all sorts of shenanigans going on. But yeah, it's timed to the best of my ability. Bit of slack on the lacing rings, which is what these are, to be honest. There's a bit of slack, but they do line up, so that's all good. And also lined up the lacing gear, which is this thing here, like pendulum toothed assembly. And yeah, we should be all good to go. So yeah, let's crack on. Any other time I would have taken off the front loading system and just gone for it, but I just don't want to pull this apart more than I have to. So one thing that's worth noting is I did remove the cassette opening for the full-size VHS assembly. So if you take this off, you can then get to all of this and remove this, and everything is good. But yeah, I think we are about good to go to give this a test. So yeah, I suppose we ought to crack on. Well, here goes. I was going to sort of wind it through manually, and then I thought, well, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to plug in that top connector because I was actually going to use a power supply to do it. But I just thought, well, let's just go for it. Okay, so that's a good start. I mean, it's timed correctly, but I'm just worried because there was that that bit of plastic floating around. So okay, well, that's not terrible, but it's obviously not right. So yeah, I think I do need to just wind this on by hand and see what's going on. Let's crack on. Okay, so I've got things balanced a bit precariously, but let's just see how we go. Right, so I think I can see what the problem is. That bit of plastic that I saw, let's get a screwdriver, see if I can actually show you. It's missing off, it looks like it's missing off the top of that gear. And I can compare it to the other one. But this is just like jamming on the actual sort of gear part here, and yeah, it's a perfect it's a perfect jamming place, really. So obviously that bit of plastic must sort of kick this out to then slide along the outer surface of the gear. Oh dear. Well, yeah, that sort of makes sense. So I'm going to have to harvest the gear out the other machine and hope that does the trick. Let's crack on. So I've repaired the gear from the other deck. I could have cleaned the grease off, but I'll just leave it on, to be honest. And I've put a pin through it as well. Now, this is actually, although it's really annoying, it's broken off on both decks, and the other deck, it's my fault because there was a bit of metal and I didn't see it and I wound it up and yeah, it broke. But it is a sacrificial plastic pin, because what it does, if the reels of the VHS cassette are jammed, it'll load so far and then break before it gets around the heads, because it's going to break a head chip. So it does protect the heads and ultimately makes for a cheaper repair. So yeah, it sort of makes sense. The gear itself, what I've done is I've put it back into the timed position, then the position you sort of time the deck to. Put in my Allen key. It is through the gear, and then I'll just turn it over and it will drop out. That's fine, but at least I know it's timed, so I shouldn't have to retime the deck, and I can check it as well against the diagram and just make sure that everything is good. So yeah, let's crack on. So hopefully you can see the Allen key sticking through there. I'm going to have to take this bracket off again, which is fine. So let's do that. There we go. So now need to get this spring clip back off, and the arm will go back when I do this, when I take the actual gear off. I should. Right, so there we go. Try and keep it in time if we can. So take out the Allen key, get the new or replacement gear ready, and this actually looks slightly out of time, interestingly. So there goes the arm. Oh, and I've got to free this off. I forgot about this. Which is really tight, of course. This is not good. There we go, that's gone. Just trying to be careful of just everything, because everything is getting so fragile with these machines now. And I just don't want to keep unplugging and plugging in stuff if I don't need to. But obviously the plastics are getting really quite fragile as well. Things are breaking. It's almost like it's killing itself. So that should now. No, it won't. Of course it won't. I've got to take that off. that will swing round, that's fine. Now I've got to take this off. Yeah, that's fine. Should come off. Oh, I missed another screw. And a screw I can't get to very easily. But it came undone. Great. There we go. Not the way I wanted to do that, really, but yeah. Anyway, so let's put the other gear in. And let's get, just time this as we go. Right, so that's on. Then I need to move the arm back. So is that going flush? I think that's gone flush. I just realised I put that on the wrong way. Oh dear. Because of the gear. I was just looking at it and thinking, that doesn't look right. Just so focused on getting timing right. Can I get that past there? Of course I can't. I want to take the screws completely out. There we go. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Shouldn't work late at night. Note to oneself. Yeah, anyway. I'm always tempted to put the... so I moved the arm back. I'm tempted to just put this on so we don't get any slipping. So basically the arm won't slip back. So let's get this. In fact, what we could do, I'm just going to try it. Yeah, works fine. So I was a bit worried my bodge might, my bodge in inverted commas, might not be up to the job, but it is. So that's good. Then we have this gear needs to go on. Okay, so I've checked the manual again just to make sure I'm getting this right, and I don't want to pull this about too much, but yeah, matched up there, matched up this dot to this dot, and this dot to this center pulley, that dot to that dot. So I think we're good. So let's get everything tightened back up. It is a pain. You have to loosen off the real assembly just to get. Oh, didn't like the sound of that. It sounded like something moved. Just to get that gear out, it's just not quite enough clearance, and yet in the design they could have made it so. Frustrating. Yeah, very frustrating. Let's put that on. For some reason that's not quite sitting. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. I was going to say it's not sitting quite right, but it is. Okay. Well, yes. So we're done. A bit concerned about some of the noises as I was doing that. There's another hair there. Weird. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll give it a wind by hand, and if all goes well, then we'll give it a test. I probably won't show me winding it by hand. You've already seen me do that, so yeah, I'll do that, and then we'll give it a test. Let's crack on. So I've unlaced it and then laced it right the way up, and yeah, it seems all good. Obviously pinch rod is not engaged because the solenoid's not energized, so don't even know how that goes, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I think we're ready to power this on. Okay, so here goes. Well, it's unlaced okay. It's a good start. Turn it on. So, cassette in. That's a really good start. So, let's press play. Do we get anything? Well, I've got audio. Ooh, we have something.
When things got a bit tough, or she'd run away for a weekend and to friends, but in general terms,
well,
she was able to kind of
it's a good start.
And kind of happy, kind of.
The obsession with each element.
I mean, the tape path looks pretty okay, but obviously
Why don't you just
things are not great. Yeah, that tape is a little bit damaged anyway, isn't it? Because I damaged it.
ability to become a leader?
A bit of a squeak, but it's...
Chapman, designer and builder of the Lotus 25, has always been a
Yeah, it is working. So,
construction.
this is still like... It's that line straight across the middle. Well, I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed to at least have a working machine, mechanically anyway. That is a massive move forward, and just a massive thank you to David for just providing all of the bits. I just could not have done it without you, and it really is appreciated. My feeling is probably this whole thing will need alignment, and there's still quite a bit more sort of TLC that's needed. So I am running out of time, unfortunately, which is a real shame, because I was hoping I'd get this machine working like fully in this video. So there will be a part 4. But yeah, how cool is that? Let's do an eject. Yeah, brilliant. And that's working. You sort of hear something's not quite right.
Engineers and mechanics, and has united them into the team supporting the world.
Yeah, I've just got some alignment problems going on there, whether that's deck or whatever, but oh, it's another one of those hairs, just full of hairs.
He always hammered down my
So
throat.
we've obviously got something.
It's got to be simple.
I don't know whether they've been fiddled with. I don't think so. And they are fully located. It does seem like it needs some alignment there. I don't know why it should, because nothing's changed, but I don't know the history of this deck. So, yeah, it's obviously been looked at, in inverted commas. But that is really, it's just such a result to get just anything out of this machine. So, yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to leave it here. Like I say, there will be a part 4. But I hope you enjoyed this one. I found it actually really satisfying to actually get this to a point where mechanically it works, because, yeah, it is what it is. Quick update, and yes, this has been fiddled with. This guide is quite loose, so I've just tweaked it slightly. It was sort of straight across, moved it over slightly, and I actually have not a bad picture. I mean, this is a pretty poor recording, to be honest. The original signal was not good from the TV, and it's long play. It does look like I'm getting some crinkling from the pinch roller, so I have to investigate that. You can see there how it's sort of twisting the tape. So, and possibly, I don't know, that could be influencing that guide. But yeah, we have progress. See you in the next video. Bye for now.
Welcome to Britain's biggest ever computer sale at PC World now. Massive savings throughout the store. PC World. Don't miss out.